The Drums of Destiny, a Ugandan royal love story. In the heart of Uganda, where green hills kiss the sky and rivers whisper ancient secrets, there once stood a powerful kingdom. A kingdom ruled by a proud and mighty king, Kabaka Sentamu. He had wealth. He had warriors. He had respect. He had two daughters, both married into noble families. But his only son, his only heir, was not yet married. And that would change everything. One golden evening, as the sun melted into the hills, the Prince Kato, rode beyond the royal lands chasing a wounded antelope. The hunt led him far, far beyond privilege, beyond palace walls. And there by a quiet stream, he saw her, barefoot in water, balancing a clay pot, laughing freely at nothing but the joy of being alive. Her name was Nalongo Amina, daughter of a poor farmer, a man named Juma. The antelope escaped, but the prince's heart did not. Pause, soft drum beat. That evening he returned to the palace, but his spirit remained at the stream. That night under torchlight, King Kabaka Sentamu studied his son carefully. "You are distracted," the king said. The prince inhaled deeply. "I have found the woman I will marry." Silence filled the royal hall. "From which royal clan?" the king demanded. "She is not royal." The torches flickered violently. "She is the daughter of Juma." The king rose slowly. "A peasant." "Yes, father." The king's voice thundered. "You will marry where I command. A king's blood does not mix with poverty." But Prince Kato stood firm. "A king's blood flows red like every man." Gasps echoed. That was the night pride declared war against love. At sunrise, royal guards arrived at Juma's hut. "You are banished from this kingdom." Nalongo Amina's mother wept. Juma bowed quietly. Nalongo did not cry. She only looked toward the palace, knowing what this meant. By noon, the family was forced beyond the kingdom borders. But that night, another shadow left the palace. Prince Kato. Without crown, without escort, without permission, he followed love into exile. Hoe striking soil, firewood cracking. When he arrived at the poor family's new settlement, they were shocked. "You cannot stay here," Juma said. "I can," Kato replied gently. And so, the prince learned hunger. He learned sweat. He learned humility. He fetched water at dawn. He carried wood until his palms blistered. He tilled land beneath the scorching sun. Villagers mocked him. "A palace child will run back home." But he did not. Weeks turned to months. Under his ideas, harvests doubled. He suggested crop rotation. He helped build trade routes. He encouraged saving instead of waste. Slowly, the poor family began to prosper. The community began to respect him. And Nalongo Amina began to love him not as a prince, but as a man. One humid night, royal soldiers appeared. "The king is dying," they said. "He requests his son." The village stood united. "He belongs here," they protested. But Prince Kato was torn between love and duty. After days of tension, he made his decision. "I will return briefly. I give you my word I will come back." Nalongo held his hands tightly. "Do not let them change your heart." He kissed her forehead and left at dawn. Royal trumpet, celebration drums. When Kato arrived, the palace was not mourning. It was decorated. A royal bride stood waiting. The king had arranged another marriage. "You lied to me," Kato shouted. "I saved you from disgrace," the king replied. Their argument shook the pillars of the throne room. For the first time, father and son became enemies. That night Prince Kato left again. Without blessing, without fear. If this epic African love story is making your heart race, if it made you blushy smile or crave just a little more, and you can't wait to know what will happen next as Prince Kato leaves again, then don't just sit there pretending you're innocent. Go ahead, like it. Share it. Time passed. Kabaka Sentamu could not sleep. His advisors whispered truth. You cannot command love. One morning, something unheard of happened. The king traveled himself. With drums, with dancers, with humility. He entered the new village. The people froze. He stepped down from his carriage. I was wrong. Gasps filled the air. He turned to his son. If you will not return to the palace, I will bring honor here. For 7 days and 7 nights, the village became a kingdom. Royal drums beat beside peasant songs. Kings sat beside farmers. Food was shared freely. Games were played. Fire danced against the night sky. Prince Kato married Nalongo Amina. Not by force, not by arrangement, but by choice. 2 years later, at sunrise, a baby boy was born. Strong lungs, strong cry. The prince traveled with his wife and son to the palace. Kabaka Sentamu held the child. Tears fell. My grandson. Days later, the king fell ill, truly ill this time. No deception. No pride. He died peacefully at night. The drums beat slowly. The kingdom mourned. Prince Kato was crowned king. But he ruled differently. He removed heavy taxes. He created opportunities for farmers. He ended discrimination between classes. His queen, Nalongo Amina, built schools for village girls. And Mz Juma, he visited the palace not as a servant, but as family. The kingdom transformed. Love had changed power. Humility had reshaped tradition. And every night, when drums echoed across the hills of Uganda, the elders would say, a crown is heavy, but love makes it light. If you enjoyed this epic African love story, like, share, and subscribe, because somewhere in Africa, another drum is already beating.